session of a program. Good afternoon, good evening. Location, because if it sounds morning somewhere, it is entirely different because of the difference of the climates and the continent where all of us we live. Yeah, definitely in the live stream video, the camera is not that too clear. I apologize for it. The camera was not clear due to some certain reasons. By His grace, it shall be fixed. I still want to make further clarification on the Microsoft Innovative Educate or Microsoft Innovative in general. Microsoft has given us much more than we need. It is only left to us to utilize that is given us by the Microsoft. Going by the global trend right away is very realistic. We are in the ICT driving era. We are in information era. We are in the world that is full of digital transformation. We are in the world that information is at your doorstep. You don't necessarily have to move out from the comfort zone of your environment for you to get a first-hand information or the best information needed for you in executing either a business you have, either it is your advance, either it is any of the field that one is interested, one to develop and grow and move to the next stage or step into that particular profession. But being in the world that is digitally transforming faster than how we expect the transformation, then one has to adopt the innovative technologies that we are having so that we cannot be left behind while we are waiting to adopt the modern technologies that are coming by our way. Then if we fail to adopt the modern technological innovations into the very system we have as a traditional system, then we are bound not to move together with the evolving world. Because the way the world is moving, it seems like if one is not technologically equipped, if one is not ready to innovate technology into his education, into his businesses, more especially into education, because of the special nature of education itself, because there is neither no nation in the whole of the globe that can grow above the standard or the quality of her teachers. And those teachers are the education of that particular country, because the quality of the teachers determines the product which teachers can produce for the better use of the world. Once the teachers are of less quality, once the teachers are of less standard, once the teachers are incomparable with other teachers in other parts of the world and can compute and do either the same or better, then definitely we are lagged behind. So the best principle for us to adopt in adopting the changes in the modern technological world we found ourselves, the world of information era, our teachers need to be re-equipped, they need to be retrained, they need to be highly innovative. We are not in the era that we have to employ the IT experts into the education to come and teach the IT separately in the field. It is expected in the modern trend that once one is an educator, he is expected to be professional in innovating the education into the particular field he is teaching in a particular class, subject, whatsoever. It is expected of all teachers to be teachers that are technologically inclined. Let me give a simple instance that we must come together and reason as a people, as a community, as a world, people that wants to move from a step to the next step. If one is in Africa, the western part of Africa, in most of the countries in the western part of Africa, in the location most of us will live for some years. If you go there, the POS machines, you will hardly find more than three location or a town or a community. But in a particular location, you can get more than 30 and above POS machines in a particular. If you go to a again, you can get people a technologically inclined that are technologically connected to the world to establish, establish to build for future, to come and take over the institutions that are expected to be technological if the teachers are really inclined and innovated. How will they give a knowledge to students to come and the future world? We are not talking of the world of today. We are talking of the world. Even the world of today, technology has already taken over. We are talking of the world of tomorrow. What will tomorrow be like? If you see, we are in the era of artificial intelligence. So we don't expect the generation of tomorrow to be a generation of today, because even today, if you see the evolvement of technology, more especially in the technological aspect of it, you may definitely believe with me that technology in far more than how human can to secure the future. We build people that will adopt the changes of the future. Building people that will adopt the changes of the future, then it's most important day yesterday, seeing the challenges of today. So we have to look back to yesterday. And by seeing yesterday, we are going into history so that history can give us more light today, like, and what are the factors of yesterday that affects this today, factors of today that will affect tomorrow. So to connect the yesterday and to establish and build the tomorrow that is far today we are witnessing, then definitely we have to work hard and we have in seeing that we innovate technology into all our doings has to become parts and parcel of our education, because education is the only machine, education is the instrument, Education is the only philosophy to which you can use and change the world, community, or change the society, because there is power in knowledge. With a book and a student, one can destroy the negative built by another person that is of negative ever perspective. Without huge investment into technologically inclined integrate into our education system, then definitely I, we are building the best tomorrow. This is not all of going into Microsoft, because Microsoft is trying to establish tomorrow everyone can imagine. Microsoft has built that thinks of tomorrow, that is planning to take care of, that is ever ready with whatsoever the challenge that tomorrow will come with, that the preparation can at least handle the problems that are upcoming tomorrow. My multi-number of program, multi-number of series of virtual e-learning program. The of, I think is of important to the number of billions in the world. Because going from Microsoft innovative, where one is expected to be rigorously trained and retrained by the Microsoft has to train you in depth into how to use S-Way and complete program of how to use S-Way. Microsoft will definitely still teach you grit in improving that very particular thing you are doing. It is not that only it is in the generality of the whole fields of the life. Microsoft has to train you not. OneNote is an application that is trying to abolish the use of the books in the 21st century. It is expected of us not to use the book any longer. It is expected. Microsoft has built a very good a themed community. With the themed, you don't force a student to come to, you don't force a client to come and see you in the office. You don't force a business customer to travel down to go and see you in any parts of the world, or customers around the world. Maybe more than 100 customers, more than 50 customers, more than 70 customers, more than 60 customers. Give you a platform or an access with the 100% of Microsoft Health to mingle, interact, has video conversation. While Microsoft has made all those provisions, the teams, and equally, you can deploy any of the Microsoft available applications. The meeting is ongoing. You can work on a project still with a team, even outside the world where you are living. I mean, the continent or the country where you are living. You can have where you are going through a particular project, engaging with a set or group of people. Your virtual meeting, live one, is still holding. So Microsoft has made all those provisions in the team. You, if you want to make use of or sharing a screen, you can deploy PowerPoint and Excel, Flip, Sway, Worklet, any of those applications. While everything is ongoing, you can still use it excellently. Microsoft can give you all those access themes. to exactly use all those mentions. It is not only in that the Microsoft is trying to do for the world. They are doing it for today's generation, for tomorrow's generation, and for infinite generation to us, the generation that is not yet known to us. Microsoft has put all their things into series, and the series are very nice and excellent because Microsoft has to put them in such a way that everyone that comes across understand them because they were break down into pieces for easy consumption, assimilation by he who comes across them. But I am suggesting the best way to get trained and professionally be competent and to have face-to-face Microsoft training. I had my training with Microsoft face-to-face. And as at now, I have almost 20 certificate with Microsoft. I've attended multi-number of academies with Microsoft, attended the 365 certificated, attended learning, completed, certificated. I have almost 20 program or 21, and I was given the certificate for all the programs. So Microsoft is very wonderful, and Microsoft is doing the best expected of them to secure the future for the yet because the world is moving with a speed that was never expected by any other person. The information era has made us to believe what will tomorrow be like? What will tomorrow be like? It is not just questioning what tomorrow be like. What will the generation to come will face as a challenge? It's a great responsibility for us living today to see that we establish a very strong foundation to build the future of the upcoming by taking a comparative analysis of our yesteryears and compare them with today. We can predict what the future holds. The future is holding multi-number of things. Definitely believe because going by the global trends, what is happening today was never thought it would be this soonest. Recently, less than let me just say, is it 1 year? We had a very serious global pandemic of COVID-19. COVID-19 has shut down a multi number of works. COVID-19 has closed down a multi number of schools. COVID-19 has a number of activities, which is businesses around the world. But there are other parts of the world. If you see, they are well equipped and prepared in some other part, if not in all parts of life, that when the pandemic came, at least run the programs of their schools so that students will not be left off schools. The students were attending their normal classes where they are using the Microsoft Teams, more especially the schools that were registered with the Microsoft 365, because you can only have access with the Microsoft as a school if you are the beneficiary of the Microsoft 365. School, it is far more important from the university to the primary level of education that is expected of them to have more technologically inclined persons so that they may have the in-depth knowledge of using the technological tools, technological tools in transferring idea, sharing ideas around the globe. Reason why date back long when the instructors serve as the manager of the environment. It is no longer of that nature today because the technology has made access for every single of us to have 100% access to digital libraries. So we all go to the same places, session for answers to the questions, session solution to the problems and attended, searching for data of questions we have at hand and how to go about them. So Microsoft has made things very simple. Not know how important Microsoft are, more especially in the aspect of blended technology and also in the innovative technology in the world. Into the world of Microsoft, then you will understand Microsoft much better. Microsoft has made the plans for the future earlier, I think, more than any other technological inclined company in the whole of the world. Because Microsoft always care much about how to allow one or two persons with some or different ideas to interact, share that particular idea, brainstorm, and find the preferred solution to the existing problem that both the two believe is a problem. At times, things can be seen from one angle, but definitely in the other angle, it is never a problem. For simple reason that the data is available with you at a particular location, in a particular region, at a particular time of investigation, different with the data that someone is having somewhere else. Is either your access is low, is either the data at hand you have are weak, is either the data you have at hand are not well fed by the persons or person that is not in position to give you the available data needed by you. Maybe the other person in other can have a counter to all of that yours. He will have an authentic data, having it from the primary source, being good and excellent, having it at the secondary source to the tertiary source, that the whole of his data are genuine. And the processes and procedures followed by him in sourcing those particular data because of the clarity of the data presented. So Microsoft using the theme, the Sway, the Flipgrid, the OneNote, the Worklet, the OneNote assessment or assessment note, and by Microsoft deploying all those application or resources for you, Microsoft is telling you that tomorrow is in your hand if you are ever ready to work for the tomorrow. You can't get tomorrow if you did. If you stick working for today, then the tomorrow is not yours. But if you want to work for tomorrow, then you have to start building tomorrow right from now. Today is the time for you to build tomorrow. He who is committed in building the future then is expected to start building the future right from the very way, right from the very day that he understood that the future is highly important, and the time kick start right from the time he started thinking that the future is good, the future is important. We are not building the future to ourselves, building the future for the yet unborn generation. It is our responsibility to build the future that is accommodative, that is hospitable, technological wise, means because the very time we are in is built by other persons. Then we have to be fair to ourselves and the generation yet unborn to build the future for them so that once they come, see, we left behind. We can only be people if we think in a manner that justifies that we are humans. Despite the fact that technology has its advantage, it do have its ills equally. As much on the ills of technology, we have to focus on the advantages of technology for simple reason. Of the ills the technology brought in, not innovate. I cannot be technological. Then definitely you cannot be this modern society. You can do without it. You can. You, going by what Bill Ferritta say, we generally today world. I am not talking of today's. He was saying it today on that he made this statement that yesterday are in the classroom of the students of yesterday are tomorrow. So we have to think and reimagine the analog inclined persons are in the class. What will be the consequences and implications? That it means automatically because an analog driving to be driven by has to be driving a digitally equipped persons and the persons that understand around technology, just technology is part of us. We have the technology has come to stay. Is not with us. The technology is going to stay with us. So for us, understand the technology, then definitely we have to innovate. And definitely we have to be technologically inclined. Technology is not going, do not deceive yourself. Technology is stay with you and technology will stay with you. Don't deceive yourself. You will definitely stay. So all you are expected to try as much as you can to see that you all the trend that technology has to technology wisely. We are expected to launch a Microsoft innovation. We shall make the announcement what time is scheduled. Grace, the location shall be in one of the parts of the north that we are going to train for going to certify some new Microsoft innovation them the entire training needed them to have at a particular. It's an instructor-based training. It's not a virtual. It's not an online training. It's based training. Thank you very much. Please do try as much as you can. This Microsoft community did not live. Microsoft built the future. Microsoft is built because Microsoft is interested in your son and on generation. So Microsoft is with you today. Microsoft planning for the future of to produce. Love Microsoft, like Microsoft, follow Microsoft. Microsoft is bringing the global change expected, all the changes you need. The Microsoft is coming with them. Microsoft will give you all the changes, more especially logically inclined, you and take you to your destination. Wonderful. Love Microsoft. Follow